Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mr. Fluent English.
The place where we help you improve your English and your life.
I'm your host, Paul.
Okay, so if you've ever found yourself thinking, after all this time studying, why am I still struggling to speak English fluently? Well, this deep dive is definitely for you. We're not just going to cover the usual tips today.
Exactly. We want to dig a bit deeper, look at the real roadblocks, the things that might be keeping you from speaking with that ease and confidence you're aiming for, and hopefully give you not just understanding, but some, real practical steps forward.
Okay, good. So let's kick things off with a big one. A major misunderstanding, I think. What does fluency in English actually mean? Because lots of learners picture someone who speaks incredibly fast, never pauses, never makes a mistake. Is that realistic?
Not really. Not even close, actually. That idea of perfect fluency, it's mostly a myth. True fluency, well, it's more about being able to get your thoughts and ideas out clearly, naturally, without constantly getting stuck or, feeling super nervous. Think about it. Even native English speakers pause. They sometimes stumble over words, maybe backtrack. They need a moment to find the right phrase sometimes.
Right. That's such a good point. It's easy to get discouraged comparing yourself to this impossible ideal. But fluency is really about communication, isn't it? I mean, when you speak your first language, are you always perfect? Probably not.
Precisely. Yeah, we rephrase things, we correct ourselves, maybe simplify what we're trying to say all the time. And that doesn't mean we're suddenly not fluent. Right? The key is being comfortable expressing yourself, even if there are a few bumps here and there.
So if you've been holding back thinking, I have to be perfect or I need to speak super fast, maybe it's time to let that go. And this is interesting too. Fluency isn't some final destination you just arrive at one day. It's more like a journey, something you build gradually, with consistent practice and, really importantly, the right mindset.
Absolutely agreed. So with that cleared up, let's really get into the core reasons why fluency might feel so elusive for some people.
Okay, let's start with one I know trips up so many learners. That fear of making mistakes. You know that feeling, like your chest tightens. You hesitate to speak because you're worried about messing up the grammar or saying the wrong word or maybe just sounding silly.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly common, that fear of, what if I get it wrong? The what ifs start swirling. What if my sentence structure is weird? What if they don't understand my pronunciation? And that fear, it can genuinely stop people from even trying to speak.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and it's kind of counterintuitive. Making mistakes isn't the enemy. It's actually a fundamental part of learning any skill, especially language. Think about like a little kid learning to talk. They make mistakes constantly, right? Weird pronunciations, mixed up grammar, but that's how they learn.
That's a really helpful way to frame it. So maybe we need to see mistakes differently, not as failures,
Exactly.
but as data points. Like every time you make a mistake, it's not a step back. It's actually a step forward. Your brain is figuring out what doesn't work.
Precisely. It's information.
Yeah.
So instead of that internal voice saying, oh no, what if I mess up? Try flipping it. Like, okay, every mistake I make is actually getting me closer. Consciously changing that thought pattern can make a huge difference in your willingness to just speak.
And here's a practical tip you could try. Instead of feeling embarrassed by a mistake, try to laugh it off. Like if you say something funny, just go, oops, well, that came out weird. Okay, now I know the right way. It just lowers the stakes, makes it less scary.
Okay, it's the pressure off.
So the key is decide to speak, even if you know you might make errors. Don't let that fear keep you silent.
Okay, so that's fear. Now, let's talk about another big one. Simply not getting enough actual speaking practice. It happens a lot. Learners spend hours, hitting the grammar books, memorizing vocabulary lists, but not enough time actually using the language out loud.
Right. It's like, imagine wanting to learn to swim. You wouldn't just watch swimming videos and read books about buoyancy, would you? No, you'd have to get in the water. You have to actually practice the strokes.
Perfect analogy. Speaking English is an active skill. You can absorb a lot passively, sure, through reading and listening, but to get good at speaking, you have to, speak. You need to move your mouth, form the sounds, put those grammar rules and words into action.
And the good news is you don't always need someone else there to practice. There are ways to do it solo, like talking to yourself. Seriously. Describe what you're doing, narrate your thoughts, or record your voice on your phone just for a minute and listen back. It can be really eye-opening.
Yeah, or shadowing. That's a good one, too.
Shadowing again.
It's where you listen to a native speaker, say, from a podcast or a video, and you try to repeat exactly what they say right after them, mimicking their rhythm, their intonation, everything.
Ah, right, like being their echo.
Exactly. And another really powerful technique, maybe even more fundamental, is to start consciously trying to think in English.
Ooh, okay, so less translating in your head.
Yes. Instead of forming the thought in your native language and then mentally translating it word for word, try to connect your thoughts directly to English words from the start. Start small. See a book, think book, not your native word first.
Okay, I see. So the more you deliberately practice using English, even just talking to yourself or thinking in it, the more natural it starts to feel.
Exactly. Consistent speaking practice has to be part of your routine. It's non-negotiable for fluency.
Makes sense. All right, what's next on the list?
Let's tackle another common hurdle, relying too much on translation. That habit of mentally translating every single sentence from your native language before you say it in English.
Yeah, I can see how that would slow you down.
It really does. Your brain is doing double duty, right?
Yeah.
Think in language A, find equivalent words in English, figure out English grammar. It's a much slower process.
And English and other languages don't always line up perfectly, do they?
Not at all. Idioms, sentence structure, nuances, lots of things don't have a direct one-to-one translation. Trying to force it can lead to really unnatural or even incorrect English sentences.
So the goal is to kind of bypass the translation step more often.
Exactly. Train your brain to connect ideas directly to English.
How do you even start doing that? It sounds like a big mental shift.
It is, but you can ease into it. Like we mentioned with thinking in English, start simple. Just mentally label things around you. In English, see a window, think window. Make it a constant, quiet habit.
Okay, like building little pathways in your brain directly to English words.
Precisely. And another great exercise. Narrate your actions in English while you're doing them. Like if you're making breakfast, just quietly think or whisper, okay, I'm getting the eggs now. I'm cracking the eggs into the bowl. I need some salt.
It might feel a bit strange at first, maybe.
It might, but it's super effective for getting your brain used to processing the present moment in English rather than translating past thoughts.
Got it. So less translating equals faster, smoother speaking over time.
That's the idea. Less mental gymnastics, more direct expression.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, here's something maybe people don't focus on as much, but you mentioned it earlier, listening practice. How crucial is that for fluency?
Oh, it's absolutely critical. You really can't separate speaking and listening when it comes to fluency. They're two sides of the same coin.
Right.
Many learners focus heavily on producing language speaking, writing, but they might neglect consistently training their ears. And if you don't listen enough, it's naturally harder to understand native speakers in real conversation, right? You miss the rhythm, the connected speech.
And it makes it hard to participate if you can't follow along.
Exactly. Plus, there's a huge link between listening and your own pronunciation.
How so?
Well, the more you listen to natural spoken English, the more you absorb the sounds, the intonation patterns, how words flow together, and that subconsciously starts to influence how you speak. You start to sound more natural.
So more listening leads to better speaking, essentially.
Definitely. So if fluency is the goal, daily listening practice is a must. Find things you enjoy. Watch English movies or TV shows. Listen to podcasts on topics that interest you. Put on English music while you're doing chores. Just immerse yourself.
Surround yourself with the sound of the language.
Yes. The more familiar English sounds to your ears, the more comfortable and intuitive speaking it will become. It just starts to feel normal.
Okay, that's really clear. So we've covered fear, lack of practice, translation, listening. Now, you mentioned mindset earlier. Let's dive into that.
Yes, let's, because we've talked about practical things, but underlying all of it is your attitude, your approach. It's foundational.
Absolutely. You can know all the grammar rules, have tons of vocabulary, but if your mindset isn't right, speaking confidently can still feel impossible.
Exactly. So the first big mindset shift we need to talk about is stop aiming for perfection.
Ah, the perfection trap. We touched on this.
We did, but it bears repeating. So many learners get stuck thinking, I can't speak until my grammar is flawless, or my pronunciation has to be perfect first. But like we said, nobody speaks perfectly, not even native speakers. Waiting for that perfect moment means you basically just never speak.
Right. It's paralyzing. So instead of perfection, what should the focus be?
Progress. Focus on just making progress. Every conversation, every attempt to express yourself is a small win.
I like the analogy you used for practice learning to ride a bike. You expect to wobble, maybe fall, but that's how you improve. It's the doing that matters.
Exactly. It's the same with language. So maybe try telling yourself, okay, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to communicate. That shift alone can be incredibly liberating.
Yeah, I can see that. What's another key mindset?
Cultivating a growth mindset. This is super important.
Explain that a bit more.
A growth mindset is basically the belief that your abilities, including language skills, aren't fixed. They can be developed, improved, grown through effort and practice. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, where you might think, oh, I'm just naturally bad at languages.
And that belief, I'm just not good at this, can really hold you back, can't it?
Hugely. Because if you believe you can't improve, why would you put in the effort? The truth is, fluency is a skill you build, like any other. Everyone has the potential to get better.
It's crucial to remember, too, that every single person you hear speaking English fluently started somewhere. They were beginners once. Nobody's born fluent.
Absolutely. So catch yourself when you have those negative thoughts like, I can't do this. Try to consciously reframe it. Turn I can't into I'm still learning, and I will get better if I keep practicing.
That positive self-talk makes a difference.
It really does. It keeps you motivated and focused on the journey.
Okay, so ditch perfection, embrace growth. What else?
Understand that fluency takes time. This is a big one for managing frustration.
Yeah, because it's easy to get discouraged if you don't see results immediately.
Totally. People want quick fixes. But learning a language deeply enough to be fluent, well, it's more like growing a tree than building something overnight.
Yeah.
You don't see massive changes day to day, but with consistent care, consistent practice, you absolutely see significant growth over weeks, months, years.
And that consistency is key, isn't it? Better to do a little bit often than huge amounts. Rarely.
Definitely. Those short daily bursts of practice, maybe just 10 or 15 minutes of focused speaking or listening, are far more effective in the long run than cramming for hours once a week.
So the message is, be patient, stay consistent, trust the process. You are making progress, even if it feels slow sometimes.
Exactly. Patience, persistence, and belief in the process.
All right, that mindset piece feels really crucial. So now that we've got that foundational, let's get really practical. What are some specific strategies people can start using today to speed things up?
Okay, let's nail down some actionable techniques.
Great. So assuming someone's got the right mindset now, what's strategy number one?
Speak every single day.
Back to basics.
Absolutely fundamental. It might sound obvious, but consistency here is everything. Even if you don't have a conversation partner. Like we said, talk to yourself. Describe your day, your thoughts. Think out loud in English. Record yourself for a minute. Just make sure you are actively producing English sounds daily.
And remember, don't let the fear of mistakes stop you from doing this daily practice. Progress over perfection, right?
Exactly. Just get those vocal cords working in English regularly.
Okay, daily speaking. Got it. What's next?
Try shadowing. We mentioned it briefly.
Right, the echoing technique.
Yeah. Find some audio of a native speaker. Could be a podcast clip, a YouTube video, maybe a line from a movie. Listen carefully to a short phrase or sentence. Then pause it and immediately repeat it out loud. Try to copy everything, the words, the pronunciation, the rhythm, the ups and downs in their voice.
Why is that so effective?
Because it trains your mouth and your ear simultaneously. You're not just learning words, you're learning the music of English, how it flows naturally. It helps you sound less robotic and more, well, fluent.
Okay, so listen, pause, repeat, mimic everything.
Exactly. Pick short chunks. Don't try to shadow long paragraphs at first. Short sentences are best to start.
Makes sense. Daily speaking, shadowing. What's strategy number 3?
Actively seek out opportunities to actually talk with people.
Ah, real interaction.
Yes. Practicing alone is great, it's essential. But putting it into practice in a real conversation, even a simple one, is where you really build confidence and test your skills in real time.
Where can people find these opportunities, especially if they don't live in an English-speaking country?
There are tons of options now. Look for online English conversation groups or forums. Use language exchange apps. There are many where you can connect with learners or native speakers for short chats. Even some AI chatbots are getting pretty good for practicing basic conversational flow.
So the key is just finding ways to have that back and forth.
Yes. Even short, regular interactions are incredibly valuable. Getting used to responding, asking questions, understanding in the moment, that speeds up fluency way faster than just studying alone.
Okay, so let's recap those actions. 1, speak English every day, even if it's just to yourself. 2, practice shadowing regularly to improve your pronunciation and rhythm.
Yep.
And 3, find ways to join real conversations, online or offline, however brief.
Exactly. If you consistently apply those 3 things, you will see your fluency improve much faster.
Fantastic. That feels really concrete.
Good. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's just quickly pull together the main takeaways.
Sounds good. So first big takeaway, fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about communication, getting your message across.
Right. Second, things like fear of mistakes and relying too much on translation are common roadblocks, but you can actively work to overcome them.
Third, your mindset is key. You need to embrace mistakes as learning tools. Believe you can improve that growth mindset and be patient with the process.
Absolutely. And finally, taking consistent daily action is what makes the difference. Speaking every day, trying techniques like shadowing, and finding conversation practice.
That sums it up perfectly.
So, here's a little challenge for everyone listening. Starting today, right now, if possible, pick just one thing we talked about. Maybe it's shadowing for 5 minutes. Maybe it's consciously thinking in English while you make dinner. Maybe it's just talking to yourself in English for 2 minutes. Just pick one small action.
And commit to it. Start building that consistency.
Exactly. Take that first step.
Keep practicing, everyone. Stay confident in your journey. And just remember, every little bit you do counts. You really are getting better every single day.